And good evening from Aloha Stadium. I'm Al Morikami along with Jim Kamara bringing you tonight's OIA quarterfinal ball game. There you see the traffic and the people streaming in and across over the Moanalua Valley Cut as we bring you OIA playoff football, the quarterfinal round. Tonight's game pits the Red Raiders of Kahuku versus the Waipahu Marauders. Kahuku winning the white division via a 27-20 win over the McKinley Tigers. There you see the Waipahu Marauders, of course, middle run team, but certainly a team to be reckoned with in the red division this season. Kaiser Seumalu, their fine quarterback, 5'11", 206, a senior, as you see there among the captains. And certainly, Jim, this is going to be a very interesting matchup. Waipahu, when we look at the tendencies, is a big play team. Likes to go with the pass attack behind quarterback Seumalu and likes to get the ball to his big play receiver, Colin Santos. Kahuku, on the other hand, though, a steady running team with running backs Talamoni, Halcia Faleofa, and Ashton Tavetti, among other runners on their team.
Yes, Waipahu does like to go to the pass. They run out of double slot formation. Kahuku, on the other hand, likes to run the ball. They run out of the I formation. It looks to be a good game. Both teams did very well last week. Kahuku ousted Nanakuli 26-13, and Waipahu beat the, I believe they played, who did they play last week? They played Moanalua, and they beat them 49-17. So they both scored quite a bit last week, and it should be a good game. Look to see an exciting game with some scoring.
And the captains meeting at midfield with the coin toss, and
Waipahu won the toss, deferred.
And here we go again with we're going to defer it, and we're going to let the other team go ahead and take the ball. So Waipahu, obviously, with their defense, going to go ahead and let Kahuku take the ball. As you look down the statistics from last week's ball games, Waipahu coming up with a very balanced attack, gaining a total of 371 yards in last week's win over Castle. The rushing attack able to roll up 190 yards, while Seumalu accounting for 181 yards through the air. Kahuku, on the other hand, though, for the most part, handily got by Nanakuli, rolling up 290 yards on the ground. But when you look at the line score, Jim, Kahuku in that one had to actually come from behind against Nanakuli, with Nanakuli taking a 7-0 lead and scoring 6 more points in the third quarter to even things up to 14-13 at that point. Kahuku needed to post at least 12 more points on the board to pull off the win, and certainly that points to the fact that Kahuku a little slow to get things started in both the first and third quarters. If you're Waipahu, obviously you're looking at that and you're going to think, hey, we get these guys out of their offense by jumping on them early, get some points on the board. Waipahu has shown they can be productive. They got 30 big points in the first half in their playoff game against the Castle Knights, I believe it was. No, excuse me, Moanalua in her 49-17 first round win, scored 30 points in the first half. And obviously, if you're Waipahu, you want to get Kahuku out of that running attack and get quarterbacks Thompson and Fanoi Moana to get that ball up in the air. And Fanoi, or rather I should say Thompson, last week going 0 for 7.
Yes, talking about a lot of scoring, which Waipahu did last week, that is really a result of the kind of offense that they run. Anytime you have a wide open offense, a scoring offense like they do out of the double slot, their offense is very similar to St. Louis, according to Coach Delis Reyes. They like to run, the double slot and sort of a run and shoot offense, and they're influenced by Houston's offense, University of Houston's offense. So. Go ahead.
And the Marauders, of course, like to kind of spread it around, as do the Red Raiders with their running attack. Although Talamoni last ball game, 172 yards on 13 carries in beating Nanakuli. Nanakuli, though, able to get the ball up in the air for 9 of 18 for 88 yards. So obviously, Kahuku with perhaps a little chink in the armor where pass defense is concerned.
I had an opportunity to talk to both coaches and ask them who do they think were the players to watch for tonight. And on the Waipahu side, they said, of course, number 12, Kaiser Seumalu, the quarterback, and number 75, Desmond Caressa, who's an offensive lineman, and also number 84, the favorite receiver of Seumalu, Colin Santos. And on defense for Waipahu, number 77, Louis Funga. Look for him to be in there on some tackles. Number 42, Jacob Fagai, and 25, Seneca Oshiro.
And action underway as gathering it in for Kahuku is Diamond Ka'aihui, their junior wide receiver and kick returner, 5'5", 125-pound junior. And making the stop on the play for the Waipahu Marauders, Matthew Po'isai, 6'1", 182 pounds, senior defensive back.
And here you see on the replay, Diamond Ka'aihui, excuse me.
And on first down, the give as flags go flying is to Talamoni, their hot running back, 172 yards last week. And the penalty will be against Kahuku. But right off the bat, the Red Raiders, Jim, trying to establish the running attack here.
Oh yes, that's what they do best, and that's what they're going to do throughout the course of this game.
Illegal shift against the offense, 5 yards. Repeat, first down.
That, of course, is going to be one of the keys to the game. They have to be able to control the tempo with the running game, produce long, steady drives to wear down the defense. And, of course, they need to balance that rush with occasional passes to one of their big play receivers, Tim Welch or Nellis. First down, 15 ball from the 37 of Kahuku. Talamoni this time ridden down as coming in on the defensive stop for Waipahu. Freddie Charlie, 5'9", senior linebacker, goes about 158 pounds. Take a look at it here, Jim.
And here you see a basic off-tackle play. Actually, it was designed probably to go in the 3-hole between the tackle and the guard. He gets a few.
So loss of actually 1 on the play. 2nd and 16 now. Ball at the 36. The give again to Talamoni. And Talamoni swarmed under and knocked back to his own 30-yard line. And among those in to make the stop for Waipahu is Jacob Fagai, linebacker, 6 feet, 185, a junior.
And here you're going to see Fagai had smelled out that play, well diagnosed. He's in the backfield already. Talamoni has really nowhere to go and tackled for another loss.
So 10-15 on the board here. And Thompson forced to go to the air. Thompson overthrows his intended receiver on the play.
You know, while we're changing the units here, I'd also want to mention what the players for Kahuku, the ones to look for tonight, according to one of the coaches there. Robert Thompson, who's the quarterback for Kahuku. Talamoni, of course, who we've seen. Jesse Thompson, he's an offensive lineman. And Suaki Levi, the son of the head coach, who's an offensive lineman.
Chris Pahia comes in, boots a high one, taken in by the Marauders. At around, they're going to call it the 43-yard line.
And on the defensive side of the ball for Kahuku, players to look for: Palilua, defensive back; Joshua Ayu, a linebacker, the son of former Kahuku great Junior Ayu, way back.
TV timeout.
Paliku Kaliapuna, a linebacker, and Puna Vendiola.
And this is where Waipahu obviously must get their, as we take a timeout on the field here.
And Puna Vendiola is a defensive lineman. Happy Halloween, everyone.
And of course, that coming up tomorrow and here on a Thursday evening.
Would this be called Halloween Eve?
And there you see the fans in the grandstands enjoying the action this evening as we're just underway here at Aloha Stadium.
Oh, do you know what is causing this delay? They seem to be taking quite a while on this official's timeout.
Yeah, it's called a TV commercial.
Oh, okay.
Waipahu going to get underway here. One of the keys for Kahuku defensively, of course, is that they need to pressure Marauder quarterback Seumalu, and at the same time, as you see on the ground, Saga Draga, one of their top runners, busting it out into Kahuku territory. One of the things that Kahuku needed to do, obviously, was to get to Seumalu, but one of the things is that Waipahu needed to generate their ground game to balance off and give Seumalu time to, of course, get back there and throw and use the play-action fake. And right out of the box, Waipahu surprises, trick-or-treat time, Zippy's Restaurants replay, and Seumalu and the offensive unit of Waipahu coming up with a little trick here on a delay.
Here you see Sagadraga breaking to the outside, and number 15 for Kahuku, Tavo Toatai, a defensive linebacker, 6'2", 180 on the play.
Seumalu goes upstairs, the pass complete to his intended receiver, Chaz Ramos, the slot back, 5'8", 135, a junior.
And then on the play for Kahuku, Manny Crawford. He's a defensive back, 5'8", 170, senior. I'm going to see here on the replay.
Courtesy of the Hawaii Army National Guard.
And that was a beautiful pass by Seumalu.
Good catch by Ramos, and this is what we said that Waipahu had to do. Get their passing attack established, do it a lot, do it often, do it early. And Seumalu to the airwaves one more time, looking for Ramos, but the pass there, but Ramos a little slow coming off his pass pattern, unable to get there, and the ball falls harmlessly to the turf. As making the coverage out there is Pali Lua, the defensive back, 5'10", 200, a senior. Take another look at it here.
You're going to see here, he really overthrows the play. Believe the receiver might have been held up or miscommunication on the route. And number 5 from Kahuku, Pali Lua, defensive back, was in on the coverage.
2nd and 10 from the 15 for Seumalu and the Waipahu Marauders. Little audible at the line of scrimmage, and on the board are the Marauders as making the catch. Colin Santos, their big play receiver, the split end, 5'9", 150, a junior. One of the keys to the game was the fact that they had to establish Santos, get the ball to him early and often, score early, get Kahuku out of their normal running game, and certainly Waipahu showing that they can do that and they get the job done. As the Marauders here looking to tack on the extra point. As booting it through, Sanako Lafaele, defensive lineman, 5'9", 278, a sophomore, straight-on kicker. When was the last time you ever saw a kicker take it straight on like that? It's been a while.
Here's a replay, I believe, on the touchdown. I'm going to say Seumalu sees Santos. Wide open, beautiful, beautiful play. He actually had tight coverage there, but he got it just inside the pylon.
And see how Kahuku responds on their second possession of the ball game. You know, when you think about the philosophy, of course, declining the opening kickoff, Jim, you have to think that what it has to do with, of course, is that you want to try and see what your opponent is going to try and do offensively and then try and make your adjustments defensively and see what happens.
That's a good point, Al. They may be very Waipahu may be concerned about the running attack of Kahuku and would like to get, a good look at it and then decide what they need to do. And as you had said earlier, score quick, strike fast, and that's the way that they have a chance in this game.
And certainly Kahuku not doing what one of the things that they needed to do, which was to try and get to quarterback Seumalu of Waipahu with a heavy defensive rush, and they kind of laid back on that one. As action underway here once again. This time taken in by their kick returner number 8, Jason Malufao. As Malufao brings it up to about the 20, and that will be all. Take another look at it here, courtesy of Zippy's Restaurants.
And you're going to see on the play, he missed the ball a bit, had to run back and get it. And number 18, I believe, Chaz Ramos from Waipahu was in on the play, got him right away.
Thompson, their second leading ground gainer last week, turns the corner, gets a couple of yards, but another penalty on the part of Kahuku, and Kahuku making the mental mistakes early. You know, Jim, you were talking about the experience of a team. You know, when you think about it, here's Kahuku coming in, a team under second-year coach Siwaki Levi, whereas Waipahu, on the other hand, they've been through this war. They've stayed in the red division of the OIL.
Dead ball foul, late hit out of bounds against the defense. 15 yards, first down.
Since this whole situation started, they've dropped down into the white conference only once the whole time since this whole red, white, and blue deal got started. But for the most part, they're a very playoff hardened team for the most part. So following the penalty, ball spotted at the 49 of Kahuku.
You know what you were saying, Al, earlier about the inexperience of the team, also inexperience of a coaching staff affects, you know, the outcome of games in a season. And because Siwaki, although he's had a good amount of coaching experience, he hadn't had the head coaching job. He needed to make some adjustments in his initial year, and that's what happened last year. That's why they dropped down after Simone's left Kahuku to go to the UH. But now that, you know, this is their second season, they made the adjustments. They're doing well. They're going to go back up to the Red Conference and do very well.
After the 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6 at the 47 of Waipahu. And rolling up the yardage there, the big fullback, Andreas Manumaleuna, 5'7", 240, a junior. As Kahuku staying with their game plan to try and wring it out on the ground. As among those in there to help make the stop is Louis Fuga, a 6'2", 285-pound senior linebacker. Also assisting in on the play, Jacob Faagai, linebacker, 6 feet, 185, also a junior. Thompson on the straight ahead give again to Manu Maleuna. As Kahuku rolling it up and grinding it out.
I believe, Al, they pronounce it Malumaleunga, although it's spelled Malumaleuna. Yeah, excuse me. What they're doing is running it up the gut, trying to test the determination of the defensive line and their skill level.
As Kahui, little trick and treat on the part of the Red Raiders. Gets them very near a first down in Waipahu territory at around the 30-yard line.
And also trying to set them up for the wide plays. What they do, they go up the middle, soften them up a bit, then expect everybody to go in, and then they break it to the outside, which you see right here.
As Kahui taking the word of our sponsor and sprinting for the first down. Ball set at about the 28.5-yard line. On first down, Ka'aihui again running from the I formation out of the backfield. Ka'aihui, one of the very versatile Red Raider runners. Can also run out and catch the ball. Among those making the stop for Waipahu, Matthew Palaita, linebacker, 5'8", 160, a sophomore.
And there you see on the replay the tackle.
That brings up 2nd down and 7 after the 3-yard gain from the 26. Under heavy pressure, Thompson gets away. Manages to scoot up for a couple of yards. Waipahu had him dead to rights with a major loss on that one.
And number 66 from Waipahu finalized that pressure and put the grabs on him. Joshua Leota, a 5'9", 260-pound defensive lineman. Here you see on the replay. The initial pressure there was by number 77 from Waipahu, and that was Louis Funga. And then he forced him to scramble, and the tackle was made shortly thereafter.
3rd and 5 from the 24. And this time Talamoni is parents like the name so much they gave it to him twice. Gets the first down at around the 15-yard line on a fine run there.
Yeah, you never have to worry about figuring out what his first name and last name is. Just get his first name or last name right, and you got the first name right.
Or vice versa.
And here you see he just breaks it up there. Very strong runner. He's probably their main go-to guy.
Nothing fancy about that. Just ran up the gut and said, try and catch me if you can.
You're going to see this all night long. That's why Kahuku runs out of the I formation. It's one of the best running formations, very balanced. You can break it out to either side, and that's why they like to run the I. Great for the running game.
First down at the 15 for the Red Raiders, knocking on Waipahu's doorstep. Again, Talamoni from the I formation. Ekes out a couple of yards.
Yardage is going to get tough in here. They're in the red zone. They're approaching the 10-yard line. And it gets rather tough in here. Everybody knows what they're going to do. Here you see on the replay. Again, running it up the gut. Number 21, Talamoni.
Gain of 2 brings up second down from the 13-yard line.
And there you see again from Waipahu, number 66, Joshua Leota, 5'9", 260. In on the play, got him right in the backfield.
Red Raiders serving up healthy doses of Talamoni, but that time Waipahu Jim, as we'll see here on the GTE Hawaiian Tel instant replay.
They're basically doing the same thing. Waipahu is ready for it. They're getting the hang of this and broke in. Made the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
They step up and they stuff them on that one. That'll bring up third down now and 10 from the 15 after a 2-yard loss. Flag on the play. You saw all the scrambling around.
Delay of game against the offense. 5 yards, repeat, third down.
As Kahuku looked to set themselves up.
Do you think you're going to see a pass coming up shortly or a field goal somewhere within the next minute or so?
Well, Coach Siuaki Levi not
timeout,
a man to, shall we say, disguise what he'd like to do, as we have timeout on the field with our score. Waipahu 7, Kahuku nothing. 3:48 remaining, first quarter.
There you can see all the cheerleaders from Waipahu getting excited. It's early in the game. They got the lead. Might have been unexpected for them, but not really. They're a good team, just as Kahuku is. What they need is a little more enthusiasm from their crowd. And here's a commercial.
Talamoni, 5 carries for just 3 yards in this game, as Waipahu's defense stepping up and stuffing the run and doing a good job so far of limiting the attack for the Raiders, or rather I should say for the Marauders.
There you see some of the fans. Someone knows she's on camera.
So on third down from the 20 now, Kahuku coming out as we get set to resume action here.
You can see they're split out. Looks like they're going for a pass on this one.
Thompson has yet to complete a pass in the postseason. And Thompson firing, has a man complete. Touchdown, 6 points, Kahuku. Diamond Kahui on the receiving end of that, and Diamond certainly shining bright on that pass reception for the score.
Diamond Kahui, he's only 5'5", 125, but he really did a great job there of getting behind the cornerback.
So back and forth we go. As Kahuku looking for the equalizers, the extra point is no good, and Waipahu maintains a 1-point lead, 7-6 with 3:42 remaining here in the first quarter of action. But Kahuku on a nice steady drive, answering Waipahu's score to trail by just 1 here.
And who would have expected their first score to end up through the air? Here we see on the replay that again. It's a beautiful pass. He's right behind the defensive back, number 18 from Waipahu, and that is Chaz Ramos. Chaz Ramos somehow let him slip right behind him.
So Kahuku, you could say, chops into Waipahu's lead to trail by just 1 here. And indeed, many strange things going on here at Aloha Stadium this Halloween weekend. Waipahu on their first possession, on their first play from scrimmage, ran the ball. And Kahuku scoring on a touchdown pass.
Well, Kahuku both got their treat and gave the trick to the Waipahu Marauders there 1 day early.
And the deep kick sails out of bounds. This will be Waipahu ball up around the 35 on the illegal procedure penalty.
Illegal procedure.
Unless Waipahu forces Kahuku
Kicking
to
team
kick it
declined.
again.
The ball will be in play at the 35.
No, they're going to just put it at 35 and say, here you go. Play ball.
And just earlier you saw Coach Delis Reyes talking to his quarterback, Kaiser Seumalo, trying to give him some instructions and encouragement as he goes in there.
So Waipahu, their second possession of the game. Man in motion is Seneca Oshiro as the pass complete but out of bounds, so incomplete to Michael Menor, senior wide receiver, 5'10", 150. As Zippy's Restaurants lets you look at it again.
And you see it right here. They had the right idea, but the ball's thrown just a little too far. He had both feet out of bounds. That was a good call by the officiating.
High school ball, you need only one in. Just like college, NFL, the only one where you got to do the two-step before you go out of bounds. That'll bring up second down now from the 35. And flags go flying as we will apparently have delay of game. Bill
against
Lewis,
the
our
offense.
director and spotter.
5 yards, repeat, second down.
So mental mistakes being made by both sides here.
Now there's nothing like a penalty to break any kind of momentum that you may have built up. And a delay of game is certainly not one of those that you appreciate. You have a loss of down, you lose the 5 yards, and it really breaks your rhythm.
See what Kahuku will do here. They obviously need to mount the defensive rush on Seumalo. Seumalo's had it fairly easy, and that's exactly what they do. But Seumalo gets it off anyway. And Sagadraga swarmed under. Manages to make 5 yards off of the screenplay.
Seumalo just pulled out a trick of his own. It looked like he was going to get sacked. Somehow managed, as he was falling to the ground, falling to the turf, he somehow managed to get that ball off and complete that pass. There, he tripped a bit, and as he's falling backwards, he gets it to number 32 of Waipahu. That's Aaron Pasion. That was a great play by both of them to avoid a big loss.
Sagadraga wearing 33, Piashan wearing 32. And the pass complete again. This time, Seumalo finding Javin Nouchi, his senior slot back, 5'6", 143. Young man takes a licking but keeps on ticking. As laying the heavy hit on him, number 48, Daniel Mapu, 6 foot, 180-pound junior DB.
And Daniel Mapu was not going to let him get any further than that. He was right on him right after he got that interception. He hit him a good one.
Nouchi, like the Army National Guard, finding a way. And this pass intended downfield deep for his receiver, intended receiver, Michael Menor, 5'10", 150, a senior. And Waipahu, as one expected, finding the way through the airways, but not that time.
Manor, here you see Seumalo gets it off. It's a nice pass. It's there, and in and out of the hands of Manor.
So that brings up second down now, ball at the 45. Trips to the far side for the Marauders and Seumalo. Little draw action this time, though. Saga Draga unable to find any kind of running lane, gets stuffed and dropped in the backfield.
And he was dropped by number 77 for Kahuku, Nifoloa Silata. He's a defensive tackle, 6 feet 225, and he's a senior. You're going to see it here on the replay. The handoff to Saga Draga. He breaks one tackle, but can't get away from that one.
Loss of 3 on the play. Third down, 13, ball at the 48. Frequent flyer mileage time for Seumalo and company. Launches this one deep, has his man complete. Nouchi. The 5'6", 143-pound senior slot back gathers it in. First down and more, deep into Kahuku territory. Call it the 25-yard line.
That's 2 plays in a row. Nouchi makes a beautiful grab, hangs onto it just as he's getting hit. It's a good job of hanging onto the ball. Here you see a nice pass by Seumalo. He grabs it, and number 48, Daniel Mapu, DB, 6 feet, 180, is there to make the stop on him.
Second look brought to you courtesy of the Hawaii Army National Guard, where you can. And Seumalo looking to try and do something here. Has a man. Touchdown! Javin Nouchi. Fueling the drive with 3 pass completion, with 3 pass receptions, I should say. Last one good for the score.
Excuse me, Al, for the interruption there. Again, as you said, 3 in a row. That drive, that finishing last 20, 30 yards or so was compliments of Seumalo and Nouchi.
And coming out to boot on the extra point, Sanako Lafaele. And boy, it's been a long time since I've seen anyone boot it straight up that way, but this one goes off to one side, so it's 13-6. But the bottom line, Jim, is that Seumalo and the Marauders made that look easy.
Yes, Kaiser Seumalo he's avoiding the rush somehow, and he's throwing beautiful passes right there. Most of them are right to his man, throwing it to where no one else can make the interception. And you're going to see here on the replay, again, nice pass right there, Nouchi. Back to the defender, number 45 for Kahuku. Was that 45 or 44? I'm not sure who that was.
56 seconds, though, remaining first quarter. And Waipahu, 13 points on the board to just 6 for Kahuku. Still, Raiders have shown that they can move the ball and move it well, but they use a very steady ground game, and and really they must avoid miscues, because if they have some, as you see the fans looking on there, Kahuku miscues could really do serious damage to their playoff chances in terms of trying to advance this evening. Because so far their defense, Jim, has not really been able to mount that much pressure on Seumalo, and so far the Marauders basically looking like they're just in a practice scrimmage more than anything else.
You know, I was talking to the defensive coordinator earlier before the game, Byron of Kahuku, Byron Beatty, and he told me they have some things up their sleeve that they're going to throw against Seumalo, excuse me.
As advancing it up on the kickoff is Jason Malufao, 5'10", 165-pound senior. Gets Kahuku good field position out to the 41-yard line. Take another look at it here.
Here you see it's just basically return up the middle and set up your wedge, and And he goes up the middle. There's not much running room, not much where to go. So
second look, courtesy Zippy's Restaurants. Come on over to the Zippy's Taste, and that's what it looks like Talamoni wants to try and do, is he gets deep into Marauder territory inside the 35-yard line. Huge run there by Talamoni.
that looked like that might have been a slant off tackle or a veer off tackle. Let's see here.
Courtesy GTE Hawaiian Telephone. Ooh!
No, actually, that wasn't. It was in between the tackle and the guard, and he just had a big hole was opened up there. I wish I could have gotten a better look of who opened up that hole for him.
Great reverse angle look as Thompson takes it back on the keeper, weaves for a couple of yards inside the 30 down to, they're going to call it the 27-yard line, looks like.
And number 66 again, we've heard his name several times already throughout this game. Joshua Leota, 5'9", 260, in on the play. You're not going to get around him.
No, apparently not, as this brings up 2nd down and 4 from the 28 of Waipahu, where the first quarter will come to an end with our score, Marauders 13, Red Raiders 6. And quite an even ball game, Jim, just looking at the first downs. Kahuku with 7, Waipahu with 6. And so far, both teams basically running their offenses with impunity.
Yes, and the running game of Kahuku has been doing off and on fairly well. But again, when they run it up the middle, number 66 for Waipahu puts the stop on them, Joshua Leota. And, when you're 5'9", not even 6 feet and 260, that's very hard for an offensive lineman to block. This guy's built low center of gravity, built close to the ground, and with all that weight behind him, it's pretty hard to move him. And as a result, you can see that he's in on many tackles.
So far, teeter-totter ball game. It just may come down to whoever scores last, and this one will take home the victory and advance to the semifinals, the OIA playoffs.
I would not be surprised if this game is going to be one of those seesaw games where, one team scores, then the other one replies with a score, and then it goes back and forth. And somewhere the battle of attrition will take place somewhere in the second half, and one team will come out of ahead.
From the 28, 2nd down 4 for Kahuku. As Talamoni surges ahead, may have got a yard or two, but that'll be all.
Now, I didn't get any reports from Waipahu as far as injuries on the roster, but Kahuku has a number of key players that are injured. And here you see on the replay, Palamoni gets a few in that one. Again, they're trying up the middle.
Good reverse angle view there, as you saw. And Thompson taking it off the bounce. Has himself a lane and scoots down to the 14-yard line. Thompson getting the lucky bounce there. Playing it like a good shortstop.
Yeah, he one-hopped that. And that was a heads-up play by him. Some coaches don't like to see them do that. They rather see them fall on the ball. But he saw the bounce. It was going his way in the direction he was going. He took the chance, and it proved successful, and he got a first down on that one.
Matthew Posiulai with the touchdown saving tackle there. 1st and 10, ball spotted at the 15. Kahuku knocking on Waipahu's doorstep once again. Diamond Kahui this time, nothing doing. Gets a couple of yards, but then has the door slammed on him.
And that was number 22, Alex Ortiz, a defensive back, 5'5", 140.
Getting some help there also. Seneca Oshiro, 5'6", 167, a senior. Take another look at it again.
And here you see Ortiz plays a lot bigger than he is and makes the stops, puts the stops.
From the 14, 2nd down for the Red Raiders. Talamoni, no running lane there.
You can tell just by watching this running game of Kahuku and Waipahu. Waipahu has been really, I guess they really prepared themselves for the running attack. And maybe saw film or had scouted Kahuku very well, because they're putting, Kahuku usually does a lot better this, by this time in the second quarter, 9:51, they usually have more than one score.
Sione Lomavita, defensive end, 6 feet 225, a senior, among those coming in to help make the stop. Thompson gonna try the airwaves, has a man, but they say no catch. No catch, no score. Intended receiver on the play there, Thomas Thompson, his brother, wide receiver, 5'5", 140, a junior. Unable to haul it in.
And, again, Kahuku surprising everyone, trying to go to the air. The run isn't working that well once they get in the red zone, so they're going to the air once they're in there. They're usually on the third down, like on the past series where they scored. They did throw on a third down, I believe, and third and very, very long.
Timeout,
and they scored a touchdown on that.
And timeout on the field with our score, Kahuku trailing Waipahu 13-6. Check out that pass reception again here. You can see 1 foot out of the end zone.
1 foot was out and 1 foot in. And the rule in this league is you have to have both feet in the end zone. You can have 1 foot on the sideline out, but I believe in the end zone you have to have both of them in.
So 9:34 remaining and 13-6 our score. Waipahu leading Kahuku here in what's been a seesaw battle so far. Both teams' offenses moving up and down the field here with meeting very little resistance.
There you see Coach Delos Reyes. He's pacing the sidelines there, concerned about the threat deep in the end zone here. What are they going to do on fourth down? They are going to go for it. They're not going to go for the field goal. They're lined up in an I with wide receivers split to both sides.
And Thompson, in the meantime, has returned to action. Unable to find his intended receiver on the fourth down play. Andres Maleuna. So Waipahu takes over.
Thompson did a great job of evading several Waipahu players, including number 42, Jacob Fagai. And here you see Fagai got a hand on him. Thompson gets the ball off. And that ball probably should have been caught by the receiver there. A little anxious there. He wanted to run before he actually had control of the ball, and that usually happens when you're thinking of running before you got that ball in. That usually happens.
Timeout, Waipahu.
On the field. 13-6 our score. Waipahu leading Kahuku. Seumalu this evening 6 for 9 and over the century mark with 105 yards.
The volume one, the one
And welcome back to action here at Aloha Stadium. Al Morikami along with Jim Kamara. And back to action as Seumalu sails this one deep for his intended receiver out there, Colin Santos, the 5'9", 150-pound junior split end.
You know what I'd like to do if I can get a chance somewhere is to mention some of the coaches on both sides, if not all of them, who have done a fine job for both teams throughout the season to get their teams into the playoffs here. Starting with, why don't we go with Waipahu since they have the ball. Samuel Delos Reyes, the head coach. Jonathan Kamaka, the defensive coordinator, and we'll continue later.
2nd and 10 from the 15, from their own 15. The give is to Pasian. And Pasian meanders his way to a first down out over the 25-yard line, out to the 26. Well, wait a minute, they're spotting him back on the 24, so he's just shy of the first down.
That was nearly for a 10-yard gain. You see Pasian And he switches the ball to the other hand. That's what the coaches teach you. Get that ball away from where the majority of tacklers are. Good job by the running back. Pasión.
So 3rd down and 1 from the 24. A little less than a yard for Seumalu in the offensive unit of Waipahu. And in fact, Seumalu at 6 feet can just fall forward for the 1st down and does.
That's exactly what he did. And also, Coach Samuel Delos Reyes, not only is he the head coach, he's the offensive coordinator. On offense, Devin Fukunaga, who's a volunteer coach, he deals with the offensive backs. Lefa Lauti, he deals with the receivers. And Howard Tomatani, offensive line. And I'm not sure what the first name of Coach Tupua, he's an offensive line volunteer coach.
From the 25, 1st down. Heavy pressure on Seumalu. He's picked off. And punching it back the other way is the Kahuku defender, Joshua Ayu, the linebacker, 5'10", 190, a senior, counter-punches it for the score.
And Josh Ayu, following in his father's footsteps of great play, takes the opportunity, scores for Kahuku, and brings them right back in this ball game.
And there's Seumalu. You see, under pressure, as we said, one of the keys for Kahuku defensively was they had to be able to get the heavy pressure on him.
And you know, you talk about coverage sacks. That may have not been a coverage sack. That was a near sack. That was a rush and a near sack. And that's what really caused the interception. A bad throw as a result of the pressure.
That's one of the first times late. One man comes in late for Kahuku, and flags go flying.
Dead ball foul.
An illegal
Delay
procedure.
of game. Against the offense, 5 yards. Repeat, PAT.
So this is going to move Kahuku back, and not the kind of thing you want to see, as they were going for the 2-point conversion there. So Thompson and Kahuku going for the deuce here. Thomas Thompson, the man in motion, as Thompson fires, has a man, but in and out of the hands of his intended receiver out there for the Red Raiders. Tevita Ingalu, tight end, 6'1", 210, a senior, unable to hold on.
Here on the replay, you can see Thompson has time to throw as he moves out. He just gets throws the ball a little too high, and he really had no choice because there was good defensive coverage. They were surrounding the intended receiver, and he had to get that ball above their hands.
So Waipahu maintains its 1-point lead. 13-12 now, however. You know, this was the same kind of thing that plagued them in their attempts to win the Prep Bowl under former coach Doug Simones. The inability to get those extra points, and take a look at it here. Kahuku with a pair of touchdowns, but no extra points there. Waipahu able to convert on one of their 2 touchdowns, giving them the slim 1-point lead. You see there, first downs even. Kahuku with 8, Waipahu with 7.
You know, getting back to, as you can see, some of the fans there, Kahuku fans getting all excited. Getting back to wanting to show appreciation for the coaches because they do a fine job. Waipahu aide Villanueva is a defensive back coach. Bernard Caello is a linebacker coach, and Todd Fujimori is the defensive line coach. And when you're looking at the Kahuku coaching staff, of course, the head coach, we all spoke about him earlier, who took over from Doug Simones. Suake Levi, who also has a son by the same name playing for him, is the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Byron Beatty, the defensive coordinator, and also doubles as a linebacker coach. On offense, Molia Salanoa, quarterback coach, Telefoni Almua, running back coach, and we'll continue this.
As bringing it back for the Marauders off the kickoff is Javin Nouchi. Nouchi, a dangerous runner. Dare I say it, a poor man's Welch Ornelas or Gerald Ornelas or something of that ilk.
He's very quick and shifty, and what allows him to do that is his steps. If you look at his footwork, here you're going to see the kickoff. That had some good hang time for a kickoff. Picked it up at the 10. It's a return right, and he's breaking out to the right. Now watch as he makes his cut here. And look at that step. Oh.
And back to action as Seumalu sails that long, but pass interference looks like going to be called against the Kahuku defense. As Colin Santos, their big play receiver, the intended receiver, downfield.
You know, as I was saying about footwork is very important, especially if you're going to evade tacklers. And usually when you're able to do that is when you shorten your stride. If you have a long stride,
defensive
you just
pass
can't
interference. 15 yards, automatic first down.
That's a pass interference call against Kahuku. It's a 15-yard and a first down for Waipahu.
So that moves the ball from the 29 up to the 44 of the Marauders, as you see Coach Siwaki Levi talking to his offensive unit out there as Charles Ramos, the man in motion. Seumalu on the quarterback keeper. He'll pick up about 4 on the play near midfield.
You don't see Kaiser Seumalu keep it himself too often in this type of offense. He usually unloads the ball. There you see right up the middle. He saw a hole there, broke up with a quarterback sneak, got about 4 yards. And there was a good block by number 24 from Waipahu, and that would be, let me see, number 24 is Javan Nouchi, excuse me. He's doing a good job everywhere.
And Seumalu going for Santos again, drawing double team coverage downfield. Can't make the connection. It'll bring up second down now and 5 from the 49.
Looks like what Kahuku's doing here is they're double covering the deep receiver. There you see number 84 for Kahuku. That's I believe that's number 84 is Alan Foster. And I have him listed as a wide receiver in my roster. I guess he's doubling as a defensive back as well.
You definitely don't want to have Colin Santos one-on-one with anybody. But good job that time by Kahuku's Jason Malufau. Defensive back, 5'10", 165, a senior. Had himself some help back deep so that even if he missed that one, he had some help. But good job to defend Santos on this one.
We can call him Spider-Man on this one. He really stretches out his arm and gets his big mitt on the ball, knocks it away. That could have been a reception if it wasn't for that outstanding play by Malufau.
Seneca Ishiro comes in as Diamond Kaihui among one of the 2 deep safeties, waiting with the young man that just broke up that play, Malufau, excuse me. And Kaihui takes it, and Kaihui, shining bright this evening, has himself a lane and finally taken out, but not before he gets into Marauder territory. They'll spot him out at about, let's see, call it the 36-yard line. Looks like it'll be.
And if it wasn't for that saving tackle by Seneca or Shiro, he would have gone all the way for the score. Here you see him. Here you see Diamond Kaihui. And he just breaks out. Look at that block in there. They just set up a little wall on the side there.
And back to live action, Talamoni. Huge run, but flags go flying. You know, at the beginning of that kick return, Jim, you saw very fundamental like
illegal substitution against the defense, decline, first down.
Once he had it tucked away, then he looked up, looked for his blocking, looked for his lane, and took off.
Yes, and as I had said, he had a wall of blockers there along the sideline, and that's what allowed him to get so far downfield.
Penalty called against Waipahu. Ball now 1st and 10 at the 22. Talamoni on the run again. Kahuku with the chance to get the go-ahead score if they can convert on this drive. After stuffing Waipahu's last effort. As among those making the stop, Joseph Fangai, 6 feet 185, a junior.
And here you see Talamoni makes a cut back into the outside. But number 77, I believe, in on the stop, Louis Funga. Defensive line, 6'2", 285. He's a big kid.
From the 21, 2nd and 9, and Thompson looking to test the airwaves under pressure, loses the ball.
When I said Funga was a big kid, he's a senior, so he's a young man.
Intentional grounding, the preliminary call on Thompson. If that is indeed the case, it'll be a loss of down for...
Intentional grounding against the offense. Loss of down, 5 yards, 3rd down.
So a big penalty on Kahuku.
And here you're going to see it on the replay. He evades number 85 from Waipahu. That's excuse me, Sione Lomavita.
He was lucky that they didn't rule that a fumble and a turnover to Waipahu. As it is, the ball is placed back at the 34-yard line, 3rd and 20. Time to dial long distance for the Red Raiders. And they dial up Talamoni. And Talamoni gets very near the first down, may have it. Let's see. He's very close to it. Kahuku could go for this on 4th down if they so choose. Great run here by the young man, Jim.
Oh, yes, and he makes a nice cut, breaks away from number 25 of Waipahu. That's Punam Mayava, and then gets quite a bit of more yardage downfield.
So on 4th down, straight ahead goes Manu Maliuna, and 1st down for the Raiders to the Waipahu 10.
Looks like, Al, at this point in the game, the defense maybe for Waipahu is getting weary. Kahuku now is seemingly controlling the ground,
which is what they had to do. And here goes Talamoni into the end zone, touchdown, and they take the lead. (18-13). Kahuku goes ahead of Waipahu after trailing throughout the first half. 4:54 remaining. There you see it. Waipahu getting on the scoreboard early, 13 points.
Excuse me, Al. You know, that attrition that I had talked about that would take place in the second half, that battle of attrition might be going on right now, late in this first half here.
Red Raider is going to chase the deuce on this one. Power I backfield. Give this to Talamoni. And nothing doing.
That was a great defensive effort by the goal line defense of Waipahu.
But the bottom line is the Red Raiders take the lead over the Marauders, 18-13 with 4:54 remaining in the half.
Here we're going to see the touchdown again. Talamoni gets the handoff, breaks outside. He's got a green field. There's nobody there. I don't know what happened on the play, but nobody was there. He may have thought the ball was on the other side. And again, Talamoni in the end zone.
Kaiser Seumalo along with Colin Santos doing double duty that time. But to no avail as Kahuku takes a 5-point lead, 18-13 over Waipahu. And back and forth we go as Kahuku doing what I pointed out they needed to do, control the tempo with the running game and produce long, steady drives, try and wear down the defense of Waipahu, and that's exactly what they've done here in the last half of the second quarter.
Well, Kahuku was a little bit out of their element when they were forced into the passing game on those 3rd and long situations inside the red zone. But now, you know, they're getting momentum on the running game. They feel more comfortable with it, and as you just saw the result.
Kahale Kuna with the kickoff. Javin Nouchi among the 2 receivers back deep to receive. It'll be Nouchi starting from his own 13, and Nouchi taken down inside his 20.
The number 16 from Kahuku, that's Loa Marasco, linebacker. He normally plays linebacker, 6 feet 181, in on the kicking team. He didn't let Nouchi go anywhere on that play. This time he wasn't going to sidestep and do his fancy footwork. He was right there.
And there you see Nouchi trying to find something, can't find anything, and finally gets taken down, and Waipahu in a bit of a hole now. On first down, the give is to Sagadraga, but Kahuku's defense steps up and slams the door and says, "You are going nowhere, my man."
And again, that's Joshua Ayu, linebacker for Kahuku, following in the footsteps of his dad, Junior.
And take another look at it, courtesy of Sprint. As that'll bring up 2nd and 9, ball at the 20-yard line. Seumalu gonna sail it up in the air. Had Santos for just a moment, but Santos unable to hold on. Or excuse me, that was Nouchi that time. And Nouchi getting plastered at the end of that play, Jim.
Yeah, and he was plastered by Daniel Mapu. He just leveled him just shortly after the ball got there, boom. You know, I mean, even if he had the reception, he might have knocked that loose.
Sideline warning on Kahuku.
Bringing you that second look. As the Marauders and Kaiser Seumalu looking to go beyond the call here, they need to dial up some long distance. 3rd and 9, ball at the 20. Pass complete to Nouchi, but Nouchi well shy of the first down, as he's hauled down at around, call it the 26-yard line. Needed to get out to about the 30 for the first down.
This is not what they want to see this late in the first half, being down by, 5 points, I believe. And they have a 4th down and 1.5 yards, and they're going to have to kick this away, and they may not get it back the rest of the half.
3:33 remaining. As Oshiro boots a high spiral. Ball taking a Waipahu bounce. Back to Kahuku's 37-yard line, where the Red Raiders will take over.
Wouldn't you love to be in a locker room at halftime and listen to Delis Reyes and his staff, and Kahuku, Suaki Levi and his staff, and what kind of adjustments they'd be making? I mean, this has been a great game so far. You know, it's still a close game. Both teams are in it. Wouldn't you just like to hear what they're telling their troops there in the locker room?
I'll tell you what, you probably couldn't air it on a family show. That much I'm certain. Talamoni, big hole, big run into Waipahu territory. Kahuku taking control of the line of scrimmage, and Talamoni driving through a hole that any one of us could drive a bus through.
And on the replay, you're going to see it here. Again, the workhorse tonight, Talamoni. He breaks it there. He cuts back to the inside, and number 30 from Waipahu gets an arm on him, but that wasn't enough.
Timeout.
He gets a good
Waipahu.
And a good gain there.
And Seneca Ashiro, the only thing standing between Talamoni and the end zone. Saving the touchdown with the tackle there.
I believe Jim Kikuchi got the arm on him, may have slowed him up a bit. That was number 30. Here you see the score, 18-13. Winding down with 2 minutes and 56 seconds left in the second quarter, with Kahuku ahead.
Talamoni now 13 carries for 94 yards. Erickson Cristobal giving us the numbers here in the first half.
You know, earlier I had mentioned there's some key injuries with Kahuku. They have number 1, Ashton Tavete, he's out for the season. Jacob Malufau, he's injured, he's out probably for the season. Number 32, Hausia Faleofa, he's injured tonight. He may be back next week if they win this game. And number 99, Mamoy Malumaleunga, who has a brother playing tonight, he's injured and out for the season.
From the 35, first down carry by Talamoni, 2:45 remaining, clock winding down here in the first half. Kahuku with the 18-13 lead. Take another look at it here, courtesy of the Hawaii Army National Guard.
There you see it's your basic handoff to Talamoni. He breaks off tackle. This time he doesn't get too far. That was a nice stop by a Waipahu defender. I did not get his number.
And Thompson fires. And it's complete, and a flag goes flying. Hauling in the pass, number 88, Joseph Fotu. 6'2", senior tight end, goes 220.
You see Thompson. It's about a number 88. Fotu. And he's tackled there by 3 tacklers from Waipahu. One of
We
them
have
was
roughing
number
the
80.
passer against the defense. Half the distance to go from the end of the run. First down.
And that number 80 is Matthew Posiulai. 6'1", 180.
So after the penalty, 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Kahuku squirms down to about the 4-yard line.
And Jacob Agai in there again. He's been there in a number of tackles. Doing a good job for Waipahu.
As the Hawaii Army National Guard brings it as a replay. As Diamond Kahuku giving Talamoni a little bit of a rest out there. 2nd down, 3 from the 3-yard line. And one more time, another dose of Talamoni, and Kahuku into the end zone. Minute 34 remaining in the first half, and Kahuku now up 24-13 on the Waipahu Marauders.
You can see there the Kahuku team getting ready for the extra point. Talamoni has done an outstanding job. Had a slow start in the first quarter, but now he's picked up the pace, and he really is a hard one to stop.
And going for the deuce is Thompson and the Red Raiders as they fail to convert.
And I believe that's the 2nd time, they failed to convert on a 2-point conversion.
So as the first quarter has belonged to Waipahu, Kahuku has taken control of the 2nd quarter, as you see there. 13 first downs. Look at the line score. Waipahu coming up with 13 points, limiting Kahuku to just 6. But now Kahuku has turned the tables here, shutting out Waipahu 18-0 in the 2nd stanza.
And with about a minute 34 left in the first half, the rain is starting to come down, and if that continues, it could affect the outcome of the 2nd half. And I missed that there, but you could see Talamoni in about a 3-yard run up the middle.
You could say he's bringing down the rain. 16 carries over the century mark with 102 yards and 2 TDs rushing this evening. .134 remaining in the half.
You know how one thing, and we see this all the time, especially in the OIA, where you have these powerful teams that run the ball, wonder ball, like Waianae has done for years, and Kahuku, of course, and they just wear the other team down. It's a lot more difficult to play defense against a running team, especially your up front guys, when you get pounded, play after play after play, and that wears you down. It's much easier to play against a passing offense if you're on the front line, defensive front.
And that ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be a Marauder ball at their own 35. Be good field position for Kaiser Seumalo and the Waipahu offensive unit, and certainly Kahuku for the most part.
Illegal procedure against the kicking team. Decline the ball in play on the 35. First down.
Basically, most teams, at least here in the OIA, have a lot of players that are offensive linemen and not as many defensive linemen. So the defense always hurts when you don't have as much depth on the D line as you do on the O line. And so when you have a team like Kahuku who just runs the ball up down your throat and ramrods it, you're going to get tired as the game goes on.
And from shotgun with about a minute and a half left, Sagadraga gathers in the pass. Tries to get out of bounds to stop the clock. But the clock continues to run. Both teams with 1 timeout remaining. Minute 15 now, time winding down. Time and distance, the opponent right now for the Marauders. No huddle offense again for Seumalo and company on 2nd and 3 from the 42.
Here you go, Larry. Dead ball foul, encroachment against the defense. 5 yards, first down, Waipahu.
You know, Al, that tandem of Seumalo and Colin Santos.
First down from their own 47. Seumalu forcing this. And if it weren't for the out-of-bounds stripe, we'd have a turnover in the hands of the Kahuku Red Raider defense.
As I was saying, Al, the tandem of Kaiser Seumalo and Colin Santos isn't quite as successful as there usually are throughout the course of a game, and that must be because of some of the adjustments that the Kahuku defense has been making. I know talked to Coach Beatty, and he said they're going to run some zone blitzes, and they're going to blitz, and they're going to do a number of different things to try to shut them down.
And on the delay, this time is Aaron Paishian. Under 40 seconds remaining, first half, 24-13 Kahuku. No huddle offense for the Red Raiders. You should take a quick look at the replay. In the meantime, on the field, Seumalu guns it downfield for Charles Ramos. Nothing doing. Ramos well covered downfield. Unable to haul in the pass.
And now there you see an example of the strength of Kaiser Seumalu's arm. He threw across the field and got that ball quite a ways downfield. However, you know, the Kahuku Red Raiders are expecting the pass deep with only 24 seconds left, and the defensive back was all over the receiver.
Seneca Ishiro gonna boot this away. Seumalu this evening, 8 of 20 for 120 yards. Ooh, bad kick here. Clock continues to wind down as the ball, though, takes a good Waipahu bounce. Now takes a little bit of a Kahuku bounce. Raiders will have it at their own, call it the 24-yard line with 11 seconds remaining.
That punt was very short, and they were lucky to get that extra 11 yards on that after it hit the ground.
Marauders getting the good bounce. And perhaps duck squat time for the Kahuku Red Raiders, who lead 24-13 here. Waipahu owned the first half, taking a 13-6 lead. But Kahuku has come back with 18 unanswered points. And Thompson will take a knee and run out the remaining time here in the first half, as Kahuku goes in to the locker rooms at the half with the score coming back to take a 24-13 lead. Stay tuned, everyone. Second half action coming up with Dominic Redera and Donald Bellino in just a moment.
Welcome back, everybody, to Aloha Stadium. This is the stadium lights here between Kahuku and Waipahu. As the score right now at halftime, 24-13. Kahuku taking the lead after a rough first quarter. They were trailing 13-6 to Waipahu, and then everything fell apart for Waipahu. Dominic Redera and Donald Bellina here for the second half. And Donald,
well, as we see here with the Oceanic coverage over here of this second round of the playoffs here in the OIA, they're talking to Coach Sam Delos Reyes, and I'm sure one of the things that he was concerned about was trying to get his team back from that lousy second quarter that they experienced. It all started off with that interception that Kaiser Seumalu threw that led to a touchdown, and after that his receivers started having problems converting third downs with drop passes and so forth. And of course the running game of Kahuku took over, and the defense of the Waipahu Marauders were of course tired. They had a lot of missed tackles. A lot of these runs got a little bit bigger than they should have been, and the score is reflective of that. But the one thing that is very, very fortunate for the Waipahu Marauders is that Kahuku has had some problems converting after the touchdown, so the score is actually a lot closer than it really is.
as they get ready for football. As you see, this fan here is ready for some football. Got his hot dog in his hand. Hopefully he has his Mountain Dew, as one of our partners, Joe Pahakula, would always come to the ball game with. So you see, we're ready for the second half kickoff. Kahuku will boot it away to the Marauders, who will start it on offense here in the second half. Kahalepuna boots it away, a short kick. Ball bounces at the 30, stays inbounds. It manages inbounds, and see where referees nod, and they give a fumble recovery to the Red Raiders. They pick up the loose ball.
I'm sure this is not what Waipahu expected. They deferred in the first half. And of course, with being behind this, it was really, really advantageous for them to get the ball back and try to do something positive with their first drive. I don't know if that kickoff was purposely pooched up like that. And here we are on the replay. We're going to take a look at this kickoff, and that ball is bouncing around. And believe it or not, folks, on a kickoff, once it goes past 10 yards, it is a live ball. And Kahuku over there, fortunate enough to recover the ball right off the sidelines. As you can see over there, Sam De Los Reyes, this is not the way he wanted to start out the second half.
Oh, you definitely don't want to start the second half, especially when Kahuku scores 18 points to really come back into this ball game and take over the lead.
Exactly, 18 unanswered points. And again, the only reason why it's a lot closer than it really is because on those 4 touchdowns that Kahuku scored, they haven't been able to convert on the point after.
For Waipahu, Seneca Oshiro just got off the field. He's okay. The ball given to Talamoni, and he gets open for some yardage and gets inside the 15-yard line.
Something definitely went wrong on that play. Maybe we'll be able to pick it up on replay, but what I noticed, there was a Waipahu player that went onto the field late, and as he went on the field late, he was still going into the direction of the flow, and he was there, right there, number 84. He went into the play late, and he got burned. It went to his side and went right behind him, and that's what opened everything up.
That'll definitely happen to you when you're not set. Then again, the handoff to Talamoni. Talamoni gets in, and he scores a touchdown, 12-yard score. And Talamoni has his 3rd touchdown of the ball game.
Again, not exactly how the Waipahu Marauders wanted to start out the second half. We have a player down, number 42 for the Waipahu Marauders, and that is Jacob Fa'agai. Hopefully everything's okay with him. And going back to the play, what happened was nothing fancy. Thompson turned around, handed it off to number 21, Talamoni, and things just opened up around the tackle, and nobody was there for the tackle. And he went in there unescorted and, of course, ungreeted. Here we go. Take a look at the touchdown replay by Sprint. Again, Talamoni does nothing more than just takes a counter step, goes around tackle, and again, wide open hole. Nobody's there to actually greet him until he actually touches the end zone.
Tumu Asual really led the way. He paved the block, great blocking for him. Number 72 for Kahuku really opened up for Talamoni and gets another score. And so we wait a timeout as we have an injured Marauder on the field. It's 30-13.
Again, concern is for number 42 for the Marauders, Fa'agai. Hopefully it's nothing serious. We can't really tell much from up here. And as we can see down there, both sides, Kahuku and Waipahu trainers go out to tend to this player.
And you can catch all of the playoffs all the way to the Prep Bowl on Stadium Stars here. You can just call 486-9557, and we'll be glad to bring you the 1997 postseason in high school football here in Hawaii.
And what we're witnessing right now, this is a real good sign for a guy. Gets up on his own power, trots off. Maybe got a little stinger on his leg, and we'll see what happens here on this extra point attempt.
And again, Kahuku will go for 2. Talamoni gets in the end zone, and they convert the 2 points, which they haven't been able to do, and finally they get it here.
Well, one of the knocks on the OIA for many, many years as far as getting to that other level that St. Louis is in to get to the Prep Bowl, not too good on their special teams. And as we take a look at it here on replay, nothing fancy, just off the in between the guard and the tackle, and Talamoni puts it in for 2 points.
He's really racking up the points, has 3 touchdowns tonight and 4 for this postseason.
Real busy postseason for Talamoni. And this year, Kahuku competing in the white division. They got that little demotion after the cupboard was basically left bare by Coach Simones after taking that job with the University of Hawaii. And basically a rebuilding program last year. They had a lot of young players, got to learn a new system, and they seem to have dominated the white division this year.
Taking over the job is Siaki Levi, and Coach Levi has done a remarkable job this season, also taking that white division title. And then the pooch kick. One of the up men gets the ball. Now returning it is Nefu Mageo. Making a stop for Kahuku was PJ Matagi.
Again, we're not too sure if all these pooch kicks so far in the second half have been on purpose, or it's just that that's just the amount of the leg strength of the kicker. But here we are with that short kick, and coverage, of course, is there because there's not a long way for them to run.
I think it's a pretty good strategy there, getting away from the speedsters, the backfield of the return team for Waipahu. Now, Siamalu can't find any open receivers, and he's brought down, and he's sacked. And bring it down for the Red Raiders as Tiloi Loatai.
Here we go on the replay. There's nothing fancy about this. There was a just quick uprush, bowling the offensive line men backwards. Nice play over there. First man over there to make the contact was number 92, Tiloi Lolotai.
Naito goes for a 3-yard loss. So it'll be 2nd and 13. Waipahu needs to get positive yards. They've been going in the reverse direction. Handoff now from Seomalu. Ball give to Aaron Pashon. He'll get nowhere.
Well, right now they're falling into the trap that they got into in the second quarter. They're left with this 3rd and long. Seomalu, to his credit, he got the ball to his receivers in the second quarter. It was just that they were dropping balls. Here we are on the replay again as number 32, Pashon, takes the handoff, and there's basically nowhere to run. The front 7 for the Red Raiders up and coming over there and providing support.
Puna Vendiola had the hand on the runner that time. Now Seomalu breaks away, tries to get a pass off, and throws right in front of his receiver. And unable to get it was the intended receiver, Colin Santos.
That play took a little bit long to develop, and the thing about it is, with this run and shoot offense that they run, there's a lot of option routes by the receiver and a lot of reads by the quarterback, and just not on the same page. On the coverage over there, number 49 for the Kahuku Red Raiders, PJ Matagi.
So on this drive, Waipahu can't get any positive yards. They'll have to boot it away on 4th and 15. Ball spotted at 21. Now a latecomer for the Marauders. Just coming into the ball game, Jacob Fagai. And the punt is delivered. Ball goes to the hands. Goes in for a loss of yards. Jason Malufau.
The Red Raiders over there very, very fortunate on that punt return. Jason Malufau has it go right through his hands, and lucky enough, it just bounced right back to him. Here we are taking a look at it on replay again by Pepsi. It hits him right off the shoulder pads, and basically after he retrieves the ball, there is nowhere for him to run, and good coverage over there by number 75 of the Waipahu Marauders, Desmond
15
Caressa.
yards, first down. Timeout.
Now I have an official's timeout on the field for Waipahu. The first drive in the second half, just -5 yards. So nothing really remarkable happening for the Marauders offense. Kahuku takes over on the ball. Getting the handoff was number 20, Tim Welch Ornelas.
Nice stop over there by the Marauders, number 77, Louis Fuga. As we take a look at it here on replay, this is what Waipahu needs to do more of. They know that Kahuku is not going to do anything more than run the ball. That's their bread and butter. Nice penetration over there by number 77 again, Fuga.
Another official's time on the field.
Looks like we have some equipment problem down there. Person that made the tackle, number 77, is having problem with his helmet, and it looks like they'll have to either change his equipment or send in a substitution for him.
I think that was from the excitement of the tackle he made. Great stop for a 1-yard loss, and you got to go on the side, try to fix that helmet. 2nd and 11. We give the backfield, getting the run and still on his feet.
Nice run over there by number 20, Tim Welch Ornelas. Ornelas, a very, very familiar name in the state. And stop over there by number 44, Matthew Palaita. As we take a look at here on the replay, missed tackles again. This is a story of what happened to the Marauders in the second quarter. Missed tackles again that led up to a lot of extra yardage for the Kahuku runners.
1st and 10 for Kahuku. Ornelas tries to make some room for yards.
Again, there on the tackle for the Waipahu Marauders, number 44, Matthew Palaita. And basically, nice pursuit. They strung out the run as far as they could, but at the same time, Ornelas, as he turned the corner, he got his shoulders squared enough where he picked up some nice yardage for the Red Raiders.
And he gets a gain of 6 and gets the ball to the 49. It'll be 2nd and 4. Give to Talamoni, and he's brought behind there as he's met for a loss. Making the initial contact was Seneca Oshiro, and then finally helped with a couple of other Marauders that time.
Again, there's no secret what the Kahuku Red Raiders are going to do. The run is their bread and butter, and we'll take a look at it here on the replay. Their workhorse for the night, Talamoni, takes the handoff, and waiting for him right there in the backfield is Seneca Oshiro. Good open field tackle, something that the Marauders have had hard time doing all night tonight.
3rd down and 5. Thompson looks for a pass but can't find a receiver, has a scramble and makes yards. He gets a 1st down and over to the 40 to about the 36-yard line. And looks like
on the stop over there for the Marauders, number 42, Jacob Guy. He just got off that injury. And the theme for the play over here is, again, the missed tackles. As we see here, 1, 2. And as we keep going, Thompson just sees daylight, 3. And finally wrapped by the ankles by number 42.
Talamoni's gets the ball on the handoff, and he's met hard there at the line of scrimmage. No gain there. And making the stop for the Marauders was Matthew Palalita.
Kind of looks like right now that the Marauders are starting to get their key onto their workhorse, Talamoni, on the other side of the ball. Nice tackle over there by number 44 for the Marauders, Matthew Palalita.
2nd down. They give now to the fullback, Dre Manu Maliuna.
Big man, big name.
Close to a 1st down, and he gets the 1st down as he crosses the 25-yard line, and Kahuku really marching here. 6:06 on the clock.
Now here we go. This is going to be the theme of the second half. As we look down there on the field, fullback takes a simple dive play, and again, the Marauders have a difficulty tackling the runner on initial contact.
Again to the fullback. Now Vea Tupou gets the handoff. And when he went for those yardage, it was all muscle that time.
This was strictly a blue-collar type of run. The one thing that I noticed about this run was that as soon as the fullback got the handoff, and here we are, first person to make contact with him right over there, and then all of a sudden number 66 gets pulled an extra 3 or 4 yards on the carry.
George Sapi had the initial contact, but really couldn't get a grab of the running back. And this time, taking the handoff is Diamond Kahui, and he's greeted real quickly and in for a loss, and we got penalty markers on the play.
And when it rains, it pours for the Waipahu Marauders. They got caught there with a face mask penalty, something that they really didn't need at this time, and it just brings the ball down to the red zone.
We have face mask on the defense, half the distance to the goal line, first down.
As if the Red Raiders actually needed the assistance by that penalty, now they're even closer to getting that extra touchdown.
Now Thompson goes through the air, and they're going to rule it a touchdown. We got the referee's hands are up. Joseph Fotu gets a reception, and it looks like the referee's going to rule that he did hold the ball for a great amount of time, and
well, just enough to cross the plane. And the thing about it is what Kahuku just demonstrated over there after we just commented on how much they were going to run this half. They put it up in the air and pick up a touchdown via the airwaves.
Kahalepuna splits it through, and that's the first time we see him tonight on point afters. That ball goes through, and 39-13 is your score. As you take a look at the clock, 4:58 left here in the third quarter, and what Kahuku was doing in the second quarter, they're keeping it on here in the third.
Well, here we are. We're going to take this replay look at the touchdown. Thompson just drops back, nice tight spiral, and there we see, yes, he did have possession, he did cross the plane and was long enough to get that touchdown call. Now, score now is 39-13, 26 points. Any other game, that would be a lot of deficit to cover. But with the type of offense that the Waipahu Marauders runs, the run and shoot, similar to the St. Louis Crusaders, it's a quick strike offense. And the thing about it right now is the only problem that the Marauders are having right now is the execution. If they can bear down at this time, have the receivers catch some balls, give Seomalu some time to find his receivers, they can be in still pretty good shape in this game. 26 points, again, for this type of offense is not that much of a deficit.
And we await the kickoff for the Red Raiders. Second touchdown pass for Robert Thompson in this ball game. In fact, inside the playoffs. In his first playoff game last week, just went 0 for 7 on the passing. And tonight, a couple of touchdowns for him, and Waipahu gets the ball. The penalty markers on the play. Looks like they're going to bring this one back.
Kind of looks like we're going to have one of the rare calls of the offside, and we'll wait for the verification of this.
We have a dead ball foul, illegal procedure against the kicking team, 5 yards.
And like I said, that's one of those rare calls that you'll have on a kickoff play.
Do the kickoff again. This time, pretty good kick. The ball gets picked up at the 20. Now bring in Seneca Shiro. He'll get it to the 30.
Actually, that was a pretty decent run back by Oshiro. What he was trying to do was not do too much on his own. He scampered around. The kick was short enough where the coverage team came on down. What he was trying to do was set up his blockers, as we take a look at it here on the National Guard replay. He actually drops the ball, picks it up, tries to set up his blockers, but still yet the nice thing is he's got some nice positive yardage.
Seumalo in the shotgun, fires away, it's tipped. Looks like it's going to be one of the Red Raiders defensive linemen tipped in, and it goes incomplete.
It's turning out to be a real frustrating night for Seumalo. First 2 drives that they had in the first quarter marched the team down for relatively easy scores, and from the second quarter on, it all basically started with that interception that he threw that went in for a touchdown for the Red Raiders, and things have slowly come apart for Seumalo.
Second down situation, Seumalo pumps, he can't find a receiver, has to keep the ball, and is taken down at the 39-yard line, and looks like making a stop was...
Making on the stop there, number 90, Moepulo Alai Asa. Sorry about that. Not too good with these Polynesian names, so I hope whoever's listening to this tape can kind of excuse that for a while. But nice play over there by the defensive lineman there.
Seumalo gets a pass complete. Looks like he'll get the first down, but we got penalty markers on the play. Making the reception was Aaron Pashon.
This is the one thing that I thought that the Marauders were going to try to address during the halftime talks. They've been in a lot of 3rd and long situations and had a lot of difficulty converting them.
Waving off the flag.
Okay, apparently there's no infraction on the play. We'll see if the play stands, if he had enough for the first down. Here we are. Seumalo drops back, dumps it off to number 33, Jonathan Sagadraka, and yeah, there we go. We have the final call from the referee there. It will be a first down. And again, during this drive, I believe what Waipahu is going to try and do is, like I said, stay away from the 3rd and long situations.
So they get the first down. Seumalo fires again. Colin Santos on the reception. Gets to about the 48-yard line.
On the stop there for the Red Raiders, number 9, Chris Pahia. And this drive is looking pretty good right now for Waipahu. They're taking the nice short routes, taking what the defense gives them. We see there Costa actually putting away that ball. Had 2 key drops on 3rd down plays in the second quarter. Hopefully things turn around for him in the second half.
This time Seumalo has a lot of time, fires in the middle, and it takes a bounce there for the intended receiver, Javin Nouchi.
They're still not in bad shape. It's 3rd and short. Pass was supposed to go for about 15 yards. It went 14. That was the only problem on that play. Next time, what Seumalo just has to do is just deliver the ball and let his receivers do his thing, because it looks like that the Marauders do have a advantage speed-wise, receiver versus defensive back of Kahuku.
Another 3rd down situation for the Marauders. The pass is complete. First down, Waipahu. And making a catch for the Marauders, Michael Minor.
Nice catch. Nothing more than a crossing pattern on that play. Nice catch again by number 82, Michael Minor. As we take a look at it here on the replay, nice protection for Seumalo. Nice crossing route, wide open in that zone defense over there. And again, nice open field tackle by number 15 for the Red Raiders, Toatai.
Seumalo, screen pass, gets the pass complete to Sagadragda. Ball getting to the 30-yard line.
Again, nice play over there by the Marauders, basically trying to get Seumalo's confidence back up, get these nice short plays to work for them, and again avoiding the third and long situations. Nice grab there by Sagadraka, setting up his blocks on the screen and coming up to make the hit for the Red Raiders over there. Number 95, Pupi Tuelupe.
This time a draw play given to Aaron Pashan.
Waipahu right now trying to keep the Red Raiders defense off balance. They've had some nice plays here, and we'll take a look at here on the replay. Pashan takes the draw, goes up the gut, and picks up about 3 or 4 yards, and again it's down to third and short. A lot better situation than, like I said, in the second quarter.
Third down and about 2 yards. Seomalu goes for the end zone and in and out of the hands. Chaz Ramos, the intended receiver, couldn't get a hold on it. Would have been a good score for Waipahu, which they need, but it goes in and out of the hands.
It looks like that Seomalu, as we see the pass play over here, just a tad too late releasing that ball. It gives the defensive back, number 5, Palilua, time to recover, and that's what led up to the breakup of the pass. If Seomalu, again, just let that ball fly a little bit earlier, might have had a chance for 6.
Fourth down, Seomalu gets the first down. Well, he keeps it and gets a whole chunk of yards on that keeper to get the Waipahu first down.
Gutty call there by Coach Delos Reyes. This looked like, yes, 4-down territory for them. Seomalu does this for the second time tonight. Just takes the snap, goes right up the gut, picks up some nice positive yardage. Again, it was 4th and 2, and they pick up the first down to keep the drive alive.
First down, we're just heading into under a minute to play. Seomalu goes to the end zone, and he makes the catch, but is out of bounds, so it'll be incomplete.
Just a little bit too much air under that fade pattern. Watching the play develop, could see the wideout clearing the way, and number 18 over there, Chaz Ramos, sneaks into the back, runs the fade, and the only thing that didn't happen on that was the pass being delivered inbounds.
(39-13) the score here in the third quarter. Seomalu dumps one off, gets the pass to Sagadraga, and he scores! Touchdown, Waipahu.
Nice play over there. Nothing more than a simple screen to Sagadraka. He takes the screen and makes one juke step, which frees him up to go into the end zone. Again, with this offense, I mean, the only thing that was missing in the second quarter was the execution, and we saw that on this drive. Now, the next thing that needs to happen for the Marauders is after hopefully they convert this point after, upon the kickoff, when the defense hits the field again, they'll be able to hold down the Red Raider offense.
Chaz Ramos to hold, and the kick is no good. Making the kick for Waipahu was Sanako Lafaele. And that point after is no good, but Sagadraka scores his 4th touchdown here in the OIA playoffs, his first receiving it.
Here we go. Let's take a look at the touchdown one more time. Seomalu sets up the screen nicely, looks the other way, looks off the defenders, and the rest is all Sagadraka. As you can see, that nice little jab step frees him up to go into the end zone basically untouched.
And for Kaiser Seomalu, as you take a look at the scoreboard, Seomalu 5 for 8 for 51 yards here in this second half. Take a look at our scoreboard. 39-19. The touchdown by Waipahu tries to get the Marauders creeping back into this ball game, as now they're trailing Kahuku by 20.
Took a good look there of the Waipahu quarterback, Seomalu, built like a linebacker. Look at those arms. after having an all-state season last year, having a real subpar season when you think about how you want to go out on your senior season, but nonetheless good enough to make the playoffs again this year.
Waipahu goes with a pooch kick. Taking it is Diamond Kahui. He'll get to the 37-yard line.
Now this is gut check time for the Marauders. This is one time where they have to bear down and have the defense stop a Red Raider drive. As we take a look here at the kick return, basically nothing there developed for number 22, Diamond Kahui, and stop there for a short gain.
Talamoni gets the handoff from Robert Thompson.
Again, this is gut check time for the front seven of the Marauders, because they know that with about 25 seconds left in the third quarter and going into the fourth quarter, they're going to try and do what they can about grinding out the clock.
Talamoni gets at least a yard on that carry, and it's 2nd and 9. Again to Talamoni. He'll slide into that trenches there as he gets about 3 yards on that gain.
Okay, here we go on the replay. The stop was made by number 42 and number 66 on contact over there. And nothing more, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. They just ran out the clock to end the third quarter over here, and they're probably going to continue to do the same, opening up the fourth quarter. Again, the stop by the Marauders was made by number 42, Jacob Fagai, and number 66, Joshua Leota.
And there you check our scoreboard. The end of the third quarter, 39-19. The Red Raiders leading it on the Marauders as we enter the last 12 minutes.
As we see some of the fans here enjoying the playoff atmosphere over here at Aloha Stadium. Maybe some future stars in that group that we just took a shot of.
They're enjoying when there's a ball game on a Thursday night. And Talamoni in the second half, 6 carries, 33 yards, and really marching it for the Red Raiders. Sagadraka on the other end for Waipahu, 3 for 23.
Well, as it is, that is not really the Marauders' forte anyway, the running game. Running game is basically just to keep them honest, to keep things open for the passing game for the Marauders. Again, gut check time for the Marauder defense, as they really need to hold them right here. They can't give up a first down.
See if they can hold it here on third down. And they do.
There's something rare, 44 on 44. On the carry over there for the Red Raiders, number 44, Manu Maleuna. And on the stop over there, number 44, Matthew Palaita for the Marauders.
And the best thing here, fourth down for Kahuku, they'll boot it away. Pretty good punt there. Waipahu lets it go. The ball rolls inside the 20 and will be down at about the 18. But that's where Waipahu is going to have to start their offense and get ready to get back into this ball game with 11:22 left in the ball game.
Well, we saw a lot of promising things on the last drive of the Marauders. They gave Seamalu his protection. His receivers are starting to catch the ball. And also, they're throwing in a run here just to kind of keep the defense off balance.
Seamalu delivers and out of the reaches of his receiver. And his receiver that time, Michael Minor, nowhere close to making that reception.
They had a little bit of communication breakdown over there. Seamalu expected Minor to go further up the field, but he stopped short. And before he knew it, the ball started sailing over his head. And again, this is due to the fact that in this run and shoot offense, you have a lot of option routes and a lot of reads by the quarterback.
And Seamalu in the backfield, fires and gets a quick catch there. Making the reception was Javin Nouchi. Nouchi makes a pass complete for the first down.
Here we are on the replay. Nouchi goes down the middle. Nobody around him, and if this was the NFL, he would have actually had some time to actually stand up and get a lot more yardage.
Siamalo again fires the same play, and they're making a catch again. Nouchi and Kaiser. Siamalo has really put it on here as he's on the money to make the catch, and Kahuku just sprung a leak here on this drive here.
Siamalo starting to get the protection as we see here, and not only that, he's got his confidence back up. He's got some completions here and there. He's got the touchdown pass, and this is starting to look a little bit more familiar like the second drive that the Marauders had, where Nouchi was a key player in catching a lot of Siamalo's balls.
Siamalo won't get away this time, and he's brought down for a loss. We also got penalty markers. And it looks like the possession of the ball was taken by Kahuku.
Preliminary indications show that they're going to call a clip or a chop block on the Marauders. There was a fumble on the play. Red Raiders recover, and this is not the way you want to play catch-up ball by turning the ball over.
Especially when you started to do something good by moving the ball forward, and now Kahuku takes over and in remarkable position at the 27. Talamoni gets loose, gets over the 20 to about the 18 until he's finally brought down.
On the stop of there, number 66 for the Marauders, Joshua Leota. Again, Kahuku going back to their workhorse, Talemoni. And the thing about it is right now, kind of looks like that the defense again is starting to look wore down. And that looks pretty rare considering we're so late in the season at this time with the conditioning.
Talamoni gets the call again, gets to the 15. A 3-yard gain, and say one of the players for Waipahu's helmet just came off. You take a look at this replay.
Here we go on the replay. Talemoni takes this handoff, and basically two people from the Marauders take him down, number 48 Talifai and also number 44 Matthew Palaita.
2nd and 8. Ball given to Tim Welch Ornelas. Won't go nowhere. It's like a yard loss on the play. And it will go to 3rd down.
Here we go on the replay. Ornelas takes the handoff and basically has nowhere to go. Nice open field tackle over there. Met first by number 42, Jacob Faagai. And of course the rest of his friends come over to help him out and clean up the action.
Ornelas stop at the line of scrimmage, so the ball spotted at the 15 once again. There's a toss, and it's almost picked off for Waipahu.
Number 30, Jim Kikuchi, came pretty close there for that interception. We'll take a good look at it on replay. Pretty much an ill-advised throw. It seemed like the defensive back was a lot more open than the intended receiver versus the Red Raider receiver.
Kahuku takes a timeout. Joseph Fotu was the receiver that time, was supposed to make the catch there. Looks like he ran the wrong route. You know, that had miscommunication on the pass play.
Wrong place, wrong time. Just so happened the person that was there at the right time was the defensive back, Kikuchi. The only thing that he didn't do was, of course, scoop that up for his team to take it back. This is going to be an interesting call by the Red Raiders tonight. What's happening is 4th down. A lot of people would say this is field goal. You know, do anything to pooch that score up a little bit late here in the 4th quarter, but they're electing to go for it. So it's going to be interesting to see how far they're going to go, if they're actually going to convert this thing.
And Talamoni in the lineup right now in the backfield, 8 for 45 yards in the second half. And Thompson will choose to pass it off, and it goes out of the hands. And Tim Weltronella should have made that catch. He had a lot of room there to even score, and the pass not connected that time.
Here we go on replay. This was a beautiful play that was called. It was a misdirection play. Everything flowed off to the right-hand side. Welch just slipped out into the flat area off to the left. The only thing that he didn't do was pull it in for the grab. Kind of looked like he had some crocodile arms there. Didn't really extend to get that ball.
Waipahu. Seomalu escapes the sack, but is tripped up as he gets out of it, and a loss there.
That's one of those coverage sacks back there. No one open downfield. He was swarmed over. Here we are on the replay. Takes a step to his right. Got to give this kid a lot of credit. Real strong individual, as we saw there by the ISO a few minutes back.
Jacob Piho was there to make the play for Kahuku, and Seomalu passes a screen pass, and it's picked up. Touchdown, Kahuku. And making that play that time, Anipati Milo just hung around there and got the pass from Seomalu.
It's going to be interesting to see if this play is actually going to stand, and it's not, because we did see some laundry go out onto the field, and this thing is going to be called back, and it looks like it's going to be something positive for the Marauders. Looked pretty disastrous there for a while.
And yes, it would be called on Kahuku.
We have illegal substitution against the defense, 5 yards. Repeat, second down.
And that touchdown will be erased. Definitely a defensive lineman's dream to get a score, but that will be taken away, and Kahuku will not get the ball as Waipahu now on the offense. The pass thrown, and it goes through the hands over the receiver, Colin Santos, and that will make it third down.
All of a sudden now, Seomalu gets rushed. He gets sacked. He was lucky enough to have that interception for a touchdown call back, but now it seems he's getting a little rattled again, a little bit high on that toss to Santos.
Third down with 7:52 left in the ball game. You got 8 yards to go. The pass thrown, and it's a reception, and making the catch, getting the first down, was Colin Santos.
Now this is a situation that they wanted to avoid this half, the 3rd and long. Fortunately, they got the opportunity to convert. Nice diving catch by Santos. As we take a look at it here on replay, Seomalu gets his time that's needed for him to just set up, pick his spot, and nice catch there by Santos.
This time, Seomalu goes deep and trying to find the receiver, and we got penalty markers on the play. The intended receiver was Chaz Ramos, but there was a lot of traffic there.
Well, the one thing that was obvious looking at it from up on the booth, it looks like it will be a defensive interference. Reason being, the defensive back, as we take a look at it here on replay, number 8 for Kahuku, Jason Malufao, his back was turned. He never turned back to look at the ball. And that's what
we have defensive pass interference. 15 yards, first down.
And there we go. We got the verification where it is a pass interference against Kahuku.
That penalty will have the ball spotted at the Marauder 47. 7:22 left in the ball game. Has to fight defenders off, and he's brought down, and making the stop for the Red Raiders, Kilo Ohana Naki.
And finishing things off over there also is number 33, Anipate Milo. As we can see here, definitely a coverage sack. He had a lot of time. He dropped back about 7 steps, slid off to the side, still nobody to find, nothing to do but to tuck it off for the loss.
Second and long, and just a one bouncer. Santos couldn't make the play there, and immediately goes to another third and long situation, Donald.
Again, third and long, and as we take a look at here on the replay, Seomalu gets his time, finds his receiver right off the fingertips right there. Maybe he was distracted by that defensive back that was in the front that got his hand up. Maybe he thought that the ball was tipped or something.
Third and 12 at the 45. Seomalu doesn't have a lot of time now. He's being chased and the pass is thrown. And again over the head of Colin Santos, and fourth down comes upon the Marauders.
Oh, with 6 minutes left, it's fourth down. They're down by 20 points. It's almost inconceivable to think that they're going to be going for it. As we take a look at here on replay, this kind of shows you the arm strength of Seomalu going to Santos as he was rolling off to the left-hand side, turns his body across the way and flips it back off to the right, and still overthrowing his man.
And you call it, Donald, to go on fourth down. Pretty good field position to go on fourth down. That ball almost goes over the head of Seomalu. This time the pass is intercepted by the Red Raiders. Palilua makes the interception. And now penalty markers on the play.
We're probably going to have hitting out of bounds, personal foul type of penalty coming up after this. But again, Seomalu basically throwing into double coverage. Two defensive backs basically had their hands on the ball. The eventual person that actually got the interception was Palilua.
Dead ball
the
foul.
other defender that
late hit out of bounds against the offense. 15 yards, first down.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut off our referee there. But the other person who was on the defensive play there was number 33, Anipati Milo. And as we see here towards the end, he's outside. And number 69 just continues to push his way out.
Red Raiders continue to keep the ball on the ground. Taking the run that time was Tonga Hikila. Seomalu has 2 interceptions tonight, and which proved him costly.
2, 3. One got taken back. The one that was supposed to be a touchdown, but still yet turnovers proved to be the swinging point in this game tonight.
2nd and 7 for the Red Raiders with 5:47 left in the ball game. Red Raiders, Sione Mataele gets the ball.
Mataele there on the carry basically didn't have any place to go, wrapping him up nice and tight over there, number 44, Matthew Palaita. Marauders definitely need a stop over here. What they want to do is avoid another score. As we take a look at the little scrum there on the replay, and again, third down and long. This is one place that the defense wants to actually make a stop.
And a ball given to Ornelas, and he scores. Touchdown, Kahuku once more.
Now, just as soon as I ended up my sentence by saying that they needed a stop, we have a pitch back to Ornelas, and he goes around the left-hand side. Nobody there for Waipahu to put a hand on him until it was too late. Then he crossed the goal line.
And coming in to do the point after, Napali Kuho Kahale Puna with the hold by the man who made the touchdown, Tim Welch Ornelas. The hold is good and the ball goes through and scored for Kahale Puna, and that puts the ball game 46-19. Kahuku with an awesome lead here in this ball game.
Just got a little over under 5 minutes left to play, 4 minutes and 57 seconds, and their Marauders are down by 27, I believe. And we'll take a look at the touchdown play one more time on replay. Again, Marauder defense having difficulty making initial contact out at the line of scrimmage, and Ornelas basically goes into the end zone untouched. There we see, of course, the Kahuku Red Raiders all the way from the North Shore enjoying the long ride, picking up what looks like victory and, of course, an advancement to the next round of the OIA playoffs.
And for Talamoni, another remarkable playoff evening. 22 carries, 164 yards to do it for them tonight. And their first game in the playoffs, he just had 13 carries, 172 yards. So that's a pretty much even night.
Well, what's happened now for the Red Raiders is they've just got so much confidence blowing right off the line of scrimmage, where it's just making it so easy. And Talamoni, all he has to do is basically take the handoff, and these Marauders were just having so much problems making contact to hold down the runner.
Kahale puts it on the ground. Chaz Ramos picks it up, and now it's a lateral play by the Marauders and finds a lot of room, gets over the 50, still on his feet to about the 40-yard line. Making that return for the Marauders was Javin Nouchi.
Pretty exciting play that developed over there. It kind of looked like it wasn't really going to fly. Nouchi takes the, here we go on the replay and get to actually take a look at this. This is what I thought was pretty weird, because you pitch back to, of all people, a lineman, okay? Then now that lineman, number 75, has just enough strength to pass it back to Nouchi. And Nouchi picks up a wall off to the right, the left-hand side.
Siamalu can't get away, and he's sacked once more. And that play is not making Waipahu look great here in this second half.
Well, what's happening now is the front side for. Here we go at the on the replay over here. Just kind of lost my composure over here. This is called the Cal Berkeley Shuffle by, of course, our statistician over here, Al Murakami.
There's a pass complete to Colin Santos. Makes a reception, gets to the 37-yard line.
Here we go on the replay. Santos basically has, just what they tried to set up was a wide receiver screen. He went back towards the middle and picked up some nice yardage, as now they're left with a 3rd and 6.
Ball will be at the 36. Siamalu gives it once more to Chaz Ramos. Ramos makes great moves, gets over the 30 and gets to about the 26 until he's finally brought down by Jason Malufao.
This is the one thing that the Marauders were trying to take advantage of tonight. When I saw them warming up, there was a definite difference in the speed caliber there between the receivers and the DBs on opposite sides. As we see here, Chaz Ramos slips a few tackles, uses his speed, and finally gets wrapped up by number 8 for Kahuku, Jason Malufao.
And that time the snap didn't even close to Siamalu. He has to go there and make the recovery. Waipahu does get the ball back, but in for a loss.
Here we go on the replay. Just a there's a few times over here tonight that we've seen some problems with the snap. That time it went low. There were a few times, like right now, where it went
this
over the head.
This time he goes over the head of Siamalu. But he gets it back now, fires one towards the end zone, finds an open receiver, and hits his man. Touchdown, Waipahu. Chaz Ramos.
Very, very fortunate play by the Marauders. With the time going as it is, no doubt, I think they'll be lining up for 2 points. And, of course, an onside kick. But, again, just as soon as we talked about the bungles that they had with the center snap on the shotgun formation, the ball did go over the head. And Seamalu had enough sense to pick up the ball and do something with the ball. And Chaz Ramos was just wide open, no one around him.
And get the point after for the Marauders. And it goes through, and it's a 46-26 ball game.
2:23 left in the ball game. As we can see the line score over here. That big goose egg was the downfall of the Marauders so far in this game, and we'll take a look at the replay for that touchdown. We just missed the snap going over the head. We see the ball in flight already, and Ramos, as you can see, total busted play all the way around, and the defensive back nowhere in position to catch up to that ball.
Seamalu had a good bounce that time, picks it up and throws deep for a score.
Seamalu having himself a decent second half at this time. This half alone, he has 141 yards passing. I believe 2 touchdown tosses also, but also that 1 interception also. Scrambling around over here, and as we expected, they're going to try an onside kick.
See Waipahu just shifting all over the field. Now it goes to the near side for the onsider. Making the pickup for the Red Raiders was Wayne Fanoi Moana.
They had their hands team out there. Fanoi Moana, I believe, is also a backup quarterback. And so they had their hands team out there. They didn't have that artificial turf bounce, that one that kicks up a little bit higher and made it a little bit easier to recover that onside kick.
And now in the ball game is Vai Funaki for the Red Raiders. The ball gets to the 40-yard line, and we got a Red Raider first down.
Well, here they are. I mean, this is a no-brainer right now. What they're trying to do is just run out the clock, go on the ground, and just so happens that offensive line, again, firing out. They got no problem with that, and they're opening up a lot of holes in that Marauder defense.
And now the quarterback for the Red Raiders is Wayne Fanoi Moana. He'll hand it off. 1:53 and counting here in this ball game, and it's like the Red Raiders is just going to eat up the clock.
Here we go on the replay. All they're trying to do now is run out the clock here. Number 77 for the Marauders,
Timeout,
Louis
Waipahu.
Fuga, grabs onto the runner, and some of the fans over here felt it was a little bit too rough. Thought there should have been a penalty on that play. And here we are with the timeout. We take a look at the defensive huddle for the Marauders.
Marauders just take their first time out here in the second half. They have still 2 left with 1:39 in this ball game.
We see on the Kahuku side, they're pretty much enjoying the fact that they are picking up a win after driving so far from the North Shore. Of course, making a point for maybe returning to the Red Division next year.
And the winner tonight will meet the winner of tomorrow night's ball game between Campbell and McKinley. Fanoi Moana with the handle there until he's finally brought down by the Marauders.
Again on the stop over there, number 77, Louis
Waipahu.
Louis Fuga. And it kind of looks like the Marauders take their second time out of the half. We look up onto the clock over here. We have 1 minute 29 seconds left. Marauders down by 20 points. maybe hoping for a miracle, but at the same time, it almost looks like a moot point. And as we see some more celebration on the Red Raider side of the coin there. I guess that's the new symbol nowadays. We don't have the woo 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 waving arms things, Arsenio Hall style. We got that new push-up thing.
Panoy Moana hands off, but the ball is loose, and looks like one of the linemen for Kahuku picks it up safely and making the play there for the Red Raiders.
Number
Timeout,
70, Kendall
Waipahu. That is their last
Boutel.
one.
And very, very fortunate play for the Red Raiders. Everybody was so concerned about the ball carrier possibly still having the ball. They were scrambling around, and nobody got a good look at it. And just so happened, he was Boutel was just fumbling around down there, found himself a fumble.
And you saw the time that Waipahu has to play with.
And Waipahu, I believe they took their third and last timeout for the half, so this just makes it a little bit easier for Kahuku to run out the clock.
Fourth down, and Kahuku goes for it. They get the yards needed, and he immediately gets a first down. Tonga Hikila gets the first down for the Red Raiders, and that will do it for Waipahu, which they were hoping to stop them on fourth down. And
well, that was the time to do it. It was 4th down and 5, and they needed to make that stop over there to maybe make something happen, but it basically just makes it a moot point now that they made the first down.
it's like Hikila is shaking up on the play.
And we see him gimping off the field, and that's pretty unfortunate because right now it's pretty much garbage time. Running out the clock, getting hurt like that, you know, you need to gear up for next week already and have everybody healthy.
This play will be called dead, as it looks like probably a false start on the offensive line.
Dead ball foul, illegal procedure against the offense. 5 yards. Repeat, second down.
I believe we heard a little chuckle there by our referee because, well, there's 19 seconds left. There's a penalty. Let's get this clock rolling.
Referee Jim Beavers. And the clock ticks on. Under 10 seconds. The final playoff made by Kahuku here. The running play, and that will do it. The Kahuku Red Raiders get the victory tonight. 46-26 over the Waipahu Marauders. And in the beginning, it looks like Waipahu was going to take over this show, but Kahuku managed to stay in this ball game, Donald. And look what they come out tonight with a victory. And they go back to the North Shore with a victory, and they come back here next week for another playoff game.
As we saw by that graphic over there with the line score, basically the undoing for the Marauders happened in the second quarter. You saw that goose egg over there. There was a lot of things that unraveled for them, and they just could not recuperate from that. To the credit of the Kahuku Red Raiders, they had a game plan. It was simple, run the ball. And the thing about it is they ran it very, very effectively tonight. And, of course, this led them to go off, of course, to the next round.
And, folks, that is their offense. Coming in tonight's ballgame, Kahuku had no passing yards coming in, just 290 rushing yards, which got their victory against Nanakuli last week. And here they go with the run again with a great running backfield. And, hey, Talamoni gets 3 touchdowns in this ball game and shuts out Waipahu, and Kahuku with a great victory, and they'll try to face tomorrow's winner, either Campbell or McKinley.
And what makes things interesting is, well, we knew that Kahuku was the elite team of the white division, and of course they made a push for, of course, going into the red division for next season.
So for our Jumbotron crew, we thank them. Also for Bill Lewis, Jim Camaro, and Al Murakami. For my partner Donald Bellino, I'm Dominic Rodero. 46-26 to the final. Kahuku gets the victory. Good night, everybody.